I'm going to go through this page 7 forms. The first one's the common bluegrass style form. Not to say this is what everything is based on, but this is one of the common ones that we'll run into on how to design your phrases and kind of put all these puzzle pieces together. When we practice things like scales and arpeggios, we're not necessarily developing a phrase yet, so it sort of sounds like the scale of the arpeggio, or it sounds sort of like a run-on sentence because we're not putting that structure to it. So I'm just going to play a single note. I'm going to play the G for the G chord, C for the C chord, and A, which is the fifth of the chord, for the D chord, because it resolves back to G real nice. Strum machine's running 100 years from now at 65 beats per minute, and we'll see how this works. By putting it together and sort of piecing it together like that, phrases with clear stops and then there's space for the fills, we start to identify that there's a difference between like your line and your fill, or sort of melody and then filler or a lick, depending on the situation that we're in. Now I'm going to go through the common melodic form, and I say melodic form, this could be more like a fiddle tune sort of layout, or just your solo break that's maybe based more on the melody of the song. But ultimately it's just another scenario for how to develop your phrasing. Same backing track. Doesn't have to be all eighth notes. Just putting that in as a placekeeper, kind of make it constant. You could put quarter notes in other places, but where the longer notes are, the red notes on the page, those are your definite targets. You want to hit those and let those be very clear. Now I'm going to play through the common bluegrass form, and I'm going to play more than one note, and I'm going to try to stay focused on the G6 arpeggio for the G stuff, and I'm going to stay focused on the G9, or G add 9, which adds the second note of the scale. for the D chord parts, the G add 9 for the D chord parts, and then for the C, I'm going to probably think about the C arpeggio, the C9. I'm going to use the 2. I may not exclusively stick to these 4 notes for everything. I may add some other note in there somewhere along the way, and I'm definitely going to add in the little fills or the G runs to show you where those would fit. But each idea will be built around each of those arpeggios, because you really have to focus your construction around a group of notes so that rises to the surface, and then anything else that gets added in will just be sort of fill to smooth out the pathway. Do that again. Should give you some ideas about what this sounds like and feels like when you start to follow this form. A clear phrase with a destination note, a little filler, a little bluegrass style run, and then another phrase with another run. So they're sort of separate items. They're not just all run together. Now I'm going to play through that common sort of melodic form and just show you some of the ways that this fits in. If I stick to what's written on the paper, which is just written out as eighth notes, a lot of eighth notes, just to show you where that structure is, it'll sound pretty busy or kind of noodly. So I'm going to go through it a couple times and try to stay pretty true to that form, even though this isn't an exact form that you have to follow 100% of the time. This is just a reference to show you how these ideas or these phrases are sort of constructed. So if I leave more quarter notes or leave more space, because I like the sound of space, I may not be playing exactly 100% what's in blue or what's in green, but I am going to hit those target notes, that's for sure, and break the phrases up as we see fit. So this is all about seeing some examples. just trying to get some ideas of how these phrases are formed or structured. And you can start off just single string stuff like I did in the earlier videos.